of Gamma and Delta, of Gamma, I keep saying Gamma, of Gamma and Delta in the upper country, Oahspe, were born Gusem and Hagu by Gamma and by Delta, Yotes, Ramus, Borgi, Otesiv, and Riv. Let me go back. Okay, that was a period. Okay, I'll read it over. These are the races of Brahma: Gans, Shon, Gamma, This, Ram, Zerl, Mex, Shriv, Vat, and Delta, each 1,000 years. Of Gamma and Delta in the upper country, Oahspe, were born Gusem and Hagu by Gamma, and by Delta, Yotes, Ramus, Borgi, Otesiv, and Riv. Gamma was of the fourth descent of Gitau, and Delta was the third descent of Iwanga, Ehines from the land of Japheth. And after Japheth, it has reference number 11. And at the bottom, it says Iwanga, Ehines from the land of Japheth, which is the same thing they just put in brackets, Ehines from the land of Japheth, after Iwaga. Where up in the paragraph, there are no brackets. Okay, verse 2. The ascending caste of light in the lower country, Hojan da Tivi, was by Ram first, then Zerl, Ehin, migrants from the land of Ham, and after Ehin, it has reference number 12, which it says at the bottom, Zerl, and in brackets, it has Ehin, migrants. Okay, I'll read it again. The ascending caste of light in the lower country, Hojan da Tivi, was by Ram first, then Zerl, Ehin, migrants from the land of Ham, then Shriv, then Vat, then Gans, and the half-breed Droops, then Shon, and then This. This is actually the name of a person here, This, this. That's exactly how it's spelled. Okay, verse 3. Jehovah, who by the Brahmins was called Ormaz, so remember this from this particular name from the book of Zarathustra, right? Because Zarathustra called the Great Spirit or Yah. He also called him Ormaz. Ormaz meaning light, the master light. That's what it means. Master light. Okay. Jehovah, who by the Brahmins was called Ormaz, sent his light to the earth world once every 100 generations, and the light fell upon his sons, prepared from before their births by the angels of Ormaz, of the times before the submersion of Pan. Each cycle was called one man, and the length of his life 3,000 years. But of the times after, Ormaz commanded the nations of the earth to be rated as a man, and it was so. Ormaz said, that man may not be confounded, thou shalt number Osiris with the generations that believe not, save in the Son. But of the Zarathustrians, their number shall be as those who survived in the darkness of his cycle, which were Zarathustra, from the races of Shon and This, and of Zarathustra, Haman, of Haman, Wanchaka, who begat Zor, who begat Theo, who begat Andasa, who begat Mur, who begat Ramsat. These were tribes of the Zarathustrian order, who rejected idols, lords, saviors, kings, queens, and all other rulers on the earth or in heaven above, save Ormaz. Anita, shalom, shalom, sis. Let me highlight this. So all these that I just named, I'll read this again. They rejected everything, God, saviors, king, queens, and all other rulers except the great creator, the great spirit, Yah, or Ormaz, the great light, the master light entity. Okay. Verse 5, page 289 at the bottom.
But I think if you're too busy taking care of, like, several millions of other planets that are in the third dimension.
What?
I want to know how the word can, I want to know how.
Did they just go out?
I think so.
Hit it? Is there another button? Okay, just leave it alone. It was just on, right? Boil something on the stove. Boil the water on the stove. I checked the fuse box because your dad flipped the thing who was trying to turn the jets off in the jacuzzi. Yeah, Bella pressed the button and it wouldn't go off. Apparently, we didn't press it down far enough, but it kept, shucks, it was running for like 10 minutes while we was trying to figure it out. He came and flipped the switch and stuff, and I was like, maybe we're not pushing it down far enough, and I couldn't find anything to push it down, so I took the stopper out the tub because it was like a long thing, and I took it and I tapped it in there and it cut it off. Okay, verse 5. No, let me read verse 4. But of the times after, Oahspe commanded the nations of the earth to be rated as a man, and it was so. Oahspe said, that man may not be confounded. Thou shalt number Osiris with the generations that believe not, save in the Son, S-U-N, save in the Son. But of the Zarathustrians, their number shall be as those who survived in the darkness of his cycle, which were Zarathustra from the races of Shon, and of Zarathustra, Haman, of Haman, one Shakaka, who begot Zor, who begot Theo, who begot Andasa, who begot Mur, who begot Ramsat. These were the tribes of the Zarathustrian order who rejected idols, lords, gods, saviors, kings, queens, and all other rulers on earth or in the heavens above the earth, save Oahspe, the Creator. And in him had faith to do righteously and practice good works, made the best, nearest, perfect man. Let me highlight that in a different color. And I read it again. And in him had faith to do righteously and practice good works, made the best, nearest, perfect man. Also, okay, so I guess we can. Okay, so remember when we read the other day, Brahma, right? Brahma and his wife, Utiv, right here. Apparently, this is a picture of them, right? Y'all remember how they died, right? They just laid down and gave up the ghost, right? It wasn't none of the shenanigans. They ain't died, heart attacks, or nothing like that. And the people all around them, they lived righteously. Brahma's wife, Utiv, was a very, very righteous woman. She gave up the ghost first, and he saw her, like, literally raise up out her body, and then he did the same. And then he raised up, and all his family, their son was there witnessing everything. You know, of course, when people about to pass, people crying because they're going to miss them or whatever. But that same thing happened that we read before that happened with Zarathustra. They killed Zarathustra, but nevertheless, when he gave up the ghost, he was right there like, yo, my G, what's up? I told y'all, we don't die, we multiply, right? You just released me from my body, G. Now we can get on with the getting on. Audrey, shalom. All right, so that's how they laid down and gave up the ghost, and for 3 days, they got to talk to their family and friends who was gathered around, who was able to see them because of how they grew on earth. They were able to sargis themselves and make themselves appear. So once they left their body, they was able to manifest flesh so that those in the flesh could still see them. That's what sargis is. Okay, verse 6.
I got another question. You got a question here.
Yeah.
When we die, we don't have to come back.
We don't have to come back? What do you mean, come back? Explain to me what you mean by come back. I know you meant to earth, but what do you mean come back to the earth?
Well, come back into a third dimensional world with this body and same process crap.
No, you're not being born again into the earth. No. Remember, that's the reincarnation doctrine, which was created by who?
Christians.
Who?
Christians.
No, not Christians. The droogs, the spirits who are trying to get back into bodies. Think about it. There's not a reincarnation, but Christians call it demon possession. That's if you want to get technical about it, that's the real reincarnation, so to speak, because it's those who have lost their bodies, who refuse to continue to grow and ascend and continue their education. They hang around the third heaven, which is the lowest one that literally intertwines with the earth, where we can feel the activity of the spiritual realm. I tell you, happy Monday. But those that refuse to grow, they stay here, and they continue to, if they don't rise, they diminish, and they grow darker and darker, because they're latching on to the mortals who are still here, who have their flesh. They are called fetals, familiars or familiar spirits, and droogs, right? And those are the ones who we read about it in Enoch chapter 15. But those are the ones, as we can also see in Oahspe, that also, I ain't gonna say help man, but kind of push man towards further degradation if they're not in search of the light and living righteously. Mm-hmm. But when they open the doors for those fetals and stuff to attach onto them, they don't get rid of them. They sometimes open their own selves up, their own portal up for those spirits to come into them. Hence the reincarnation, how it started. And although they can't be born again and come through their mother's womb or another mother's womb at any other time, they will possess a body, all right? It's what you call demon possession. If you want to get technical about it, that's your real reincarnation. And that we found out or we studied. I wouldn't call it reincarnation. I would call it demon possession. Well, I know what it is now, so I rarely ever use the term demon or demon possession anymore, because I know exactly what it is now. But it's a human who has walked the earth before, but who has refused to grow and continue to move. After you pass, you do get 3 days. You get 3 days here before your ashar takes you away from here. But that's so you can visit family and stuff. And it went through the whole process through here. We read about it in the Book of Divinity and a couple other places as well.
So there is no war going on?
Would you say there is no war going on?
Yeah, there is no war, so to speak, going
on. It's a war within yourself to do what's right, but
I'm talking about an actual physical.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a lot of people talking about it, but I wouldn't necessarily name it like that today. Not like I used to before I began to really understand what was really happening. And so, I guess technically you can kind of say there is a war, but it's not really what I would call a war. It's really...
So basically, well, does the war seem... Is the war like this? You have the ones with the light, and then you have the ones that are lost and off the path? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. You have those who are living righteously, and then he said you have the other part of the family that's lost and off the path. That's essentially what's happening. And so you have those who are walking in the light and trying to walk in the light, being examples to our brethren and sisters who have strayed away from the path of righteousness or walking in the light. We're trying to help get the house in order, right? Sometimes you got rogue brothers and sisters that want to do what they want to do, and then you got the one that's a little more responsible. Listen, Dad and Mom say we need to have this house clean, we need to have this done, we need to have the chores done. You need to do what you're gonna do. It's literally, Earth is like a big house and a family trying to just get the house in order, right? And you can see that on every level, even down to the smallest government, which is called a family, even like one single family, right? Yeah. So. To be honest, I hope there are Earths that they look different than humans.
What?
I said I really hope that there is another, like the other Earths that they, look different.
I know this probably sounds weird to some people that's coming in, but it's more than just Earth. And when planets go through, all the planets go through the same process, right? We're just in the age of, we're in the age of, you want to call it third dimension. We're in the age of Cosma, where the planet is habitable. You got the different races of people, all that stuff. That happens with all of them until it goes into the next phase to where the life begins to decrease and die out. I mean, every planet goes through that process.
But there's still life on that planet, but it's not physical.
Yeah, but it just kind of, until there's not, there is. It is life until it's not, right? But it's a whole process. But we're going to actually learn about that when we get to, I think it's the book of Cosmology.
I want to know what it looks like.
It's going to break that stuff down.
I want to know what it looks like from that other side.
Okay, let me get back to this. So, book of Cosmology and Prophecy, and also, like the current position, no, that's a chart, current position of the solar system in the cosmic area. But that's a good chart, though. It shows the process of a planet and the different ages and seasons it goes through, like Simu and Cosma, and I forgot the next few ones. But it's just like the process of growing up, where you go through the infant stage. And it's essentially like that. Just like the earth progresses in age, we progress in age. We got the age of infancy, then adolescence. No, it's a toddler. It's infant, then toddler, then like adolescence, then teenage years, then young adult, then you have old adult, and then you have the elderly age. The earth progresses and grows and develops just like that, but they're called different things. Okay.
Just so y'all know, if y'all want to know about what it would look like, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus are examples of that. Mars, Venus, Pluto, they're just now coming out of the habitable stage and going into the gas.
Oh yeah, because they're not habitable anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got a point. You got a point. But a lot of people didn't pay attention in science class. Okay. Okay, let's go back here to where we was at, y'all. All right, Jeremiah. Any more questions? Please say to after.
I'm just curious.
Okay. All right. Okay. Verse 6 on page 291. The light by the voice. Remember, the voice is also another name for the Great Spirit, for Yah or Maz, or Great Creator, right? Anukia, shalom, shalom. Lisa, shalom, shalom. Okay. All right. The light by the voice was lost in the 600th year after Zarathustra, but regained in Ramsat by the Ehims, which came the tribe Lojan, who begat Thoni Gala Hogrif, who begat Sabinish, and from him to Walthuchi Sublinish, which were 44 generations. The voice always came to the chief Rabbah. In Chusa king, the voice was lost, but again restored by the Ehims, whose heirs were called Wasinchung, who begat Avar, who begat Irigavagna, who begat Benahoma, from whom was descended 30 generations, by the chief Rabbah, of whom could hear the voice. Ben Haoma numbered the Faithists of his day, and there were of them 4,000, men, women, and children, and all other nations and tribes. And Vidyu were idolaters. Through the descendants of Ramsat. Go ahead, hurry up. He's filling up his big thermos with ice. About to go to work. Are you done? Mm-hmm. All right. Through the descendants of Ramsat, the voice was again regained by the Ehims through a tribe called Shiriviyata, who begat Themsaga, who begat Phria Vamargalam, who bred with the Ehims, and begat Thais, who begat with the Ehims, and Nu, who begat with the Ehins Maha, who begat with the Ehins Bra, who had both voice and power from the Father. And he was called Brahma because of his great wisdom. Oh, so his name was Bra. What's up, Bra? Okay. Who begat with the Ehins Maha, who begat with the Ehins Bra, B-R-A-H.
Sure.
Who had both voice and power from the Father, and he was called Brahma because of his great wisdom. The angels of Ormuz had prophesied, saying, out of thy seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall... The angels of Ormuz had prophesied, saying, out of thy seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall have Suis with power. Right? So remember, Suis is when you are able to prophesy and see spiritually. And remember, they Suis infants when they were born. They did that on the side of those who weren't walking in the light, because if you walked into the light, it's just kind of developed through you and your family line by the Father and his host of hierarchy angels, right? So those who weren't walking in the light, those of the Druk order, they didn't have it, but they figured out how to get it. And it says earlier on that Yah, or the Great Spirit, allowed them to do that because...
Well, why do the Great Creator... I'm sorry, I know I said I don't have any questions, but why did the Great Creator let what happens? I get it's like, okay, so...
I was just kind of about to answer that on why he allowed it to happen. And although, remember, by doing that over years, taking that flat plate, putting it on an infant's head, because they would groom infants from the time they were born, and they put that flat plate on their head, and they tie it around till it pressed down and it touches that gland. We call it like the pineal gland, right? The seat of the soul. If you eat junk food and stuff, it becomes calcified and you can't hear and see spiritually. You can't even hear the voice of the Father. That right there. They used to take a plate, press it on their head, tie it around, and just leave that up there, and it would begin to press in their forehead. And those who were Suis on the Druk side, they had the nickname of flatheads. And you could clearly tell that that had been done to them from the time that they were born. But what it did was it activated that so that they could see and that they could judge as well. And it says in here that the Creator allowed them to do that because he was going to use that, because he wanted to reach them with the light so that they could live righteously. But he allowed it to happen because they would listen to their own before they would listen to the children of light, right? So he allowed it, he suffered it to happen for the time being. He said, because they'll listen to their own first before they listen to you. So I allow this to be done, right? So eventually, as that began to happen, they began to see truth and they began to prophesy. The babies that they Suis, they began to prophesy and see the truth. And they spoke it to the people who were in darkness, right? Now you had a choice. All right,
so look. Oh, babe, tell Danny about that. I made that
yep,
on the
I
floor.
sure will.
Tell him it was my fault. And we got an extra piece in here.
Yep.
That we got from the people.
Okay.
All right, but come on, you ready?
All right.
All right.
All right, babe.
I love you.
Love you too. Verse 10. The angels of Ormuz had prophesied, saying, out of thy seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall have Suis with power. Things that were revealed in Zarathustra have been lost, but shall be recovered in Brahma. Ramsat had prophesied, moreover, with the coming of Brahma is the end of the Ehin race in Shem. Vid-you. God spake in Cosmon, saying, let no man say with Brahma, or with Abram, or with Po, or with Iwata was the beginning of the doctrine of one spirit. For since man walked upright on the earth, behold, I have said unto him, thou shalt have but one God, even the Creator. Jan Grand Rise, and make sure y'all highlight that. Trina, hey girl, hey. Said, since man walked upright from the beginning, The great Creator said, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me except one, thy Creator." And it didn't start with some of these holy men. Okay, I'll read it again. Verse 12. God spake in Cosmon, saying, "Let no man say with Brahma, or with Abram, or with Po, or with Iwata was the beginning of the doctrine of one spirit. For since man walked upright on the earth, behold, I have said unto him, Thou shalt have but one God, even the Creator. And in the cycles of my times I have raised up many who have comprehended my words, but other constantly put away the I am and raised up idols instead. But let all men understand who and what is meant by the terms Po and Abram and Brahma and Iwata, which is that though I walk the earth with these, teaching and speaking through them, yet none of these were idolized by men. For the nations of the earth in the times of these four men comprehended that they were not gods, but men through whom and to whom I, even God, had spoken." Highlight that too if you haven't. Listen. Because clearly we can tell that they're doing that all wrong in the New Testament. He is God and very God. I'm like, no, he is not, my G. He's a man. Didn't they kill him? Listen, I'm going to read this again. Verse 13. But let all men understand who and what is meant by the terms Po and Abram, meaning Abraham, Po, Abram, and Brahma, and Iwata, which is that though I walk the earth with these, teaching and speaking through them, yet none of these were idolized by men. For the nations of the earth in the times of these four men comprehended that they were not gods, but men through whom and to whom I, even God, had spoken. Brahma said, "Have all men stars? Behold, since my childhood up, I have had a star above my forehead." Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Here in this picture. See the stars on their forehead? He asked, "Do all men have stars?" Okay. Brahma said, "Have all men stars? Behold, since my childhood up, I have had a star above my forehead." No man could answer Brahma. They said, "Brahma is foolish with all his wisdom." Brahma asked the star, "Who art thou?" God said, "I am thy star. I am the light of the second heavens." Brahma asked, "What is thy name, O star, thou mysterious light?" God said, "Call me Oahspe. I am the same light that spoke to Zarathustra in the olden time." Brahma asked, "Who art thou, O Oahspe, thou voice of light?" God said, "With one only shalt thou commune, thy Creator. One only shalt thou worship, he who made thee alive." Brahma said, "Why hast thou taken up thy abode above my head?" God said, "Attain to be one with thy Creator in wisdom and goodness and purity, and thou shalt answer thine own questions." Then Brahma applied to the Rabbah, the Zarathustrian priest, and he learned abnegation of self and the rites and ceremonies of the ancients. When Brahma was grown up, God said to him, "Arise on the morrow, my son, and I will lead thee into another country where thou shalt marry and settle down for a long season." Brahma said, "Peaceful have been my slumbers and joyous my wakeful hours all my life. I have made labor a pleasure, and I give all I have to the poor, doing thy commandments with all my wisdom and strength. From my youth up, I killed not any living creature of thine that goeth on the earth, or swimmeth in the waters, or flieth in the air. Neither ate I anything that ever breathed the breath of life, and I have been the most abstemious in plain food and water only, according to the Zarathustrian law." Hear thou me, O Ormaz, for I will break my soul unto thee and hold nothing back. Ormaz said, It is well. Brahma said, Woe is me if my soul turneth toward woman. It was like, listen, all my life I grew up, everything was cool. I kept your commandments. I didn't kill anything. I didn't even eat tasty food. I kept my food plain. Just, anything you ask of me, I'll pour out my soul to you. But now you want me to break my peace for a woman? Listen, verse 28. Brahma said, Woe is me if my soul turneth toward woman. Was I not wed to thee, O Ormaz? Was I not thy bridegroom from my youth up? Why then protectest not thou me unto thyself? Ormaz said, In past times I raised up many in Oahspe, and they were without flesh desires all their days. Such men could not perpetrate the earth. They were good for their day. Zarathustra was an Oahspe. My light is now for them that can perpetrate. Okay, so I'm guessing we doing what's right. Look, no. Us and our 18 kids. Hold on. Oh, I said perpetrate. It's perpetuate. I be a little slow sometime, y'all. Forgive me. Y'all know what I meant if y'all reading along with me. Y'all probably like, wait, perpetrate? That don't make sense. What did she say perpetrate? Hold on, go get my book. Sometime I catch it, sometime I won't. Sometime y'all got to correct me. I'll be like, oops. Okay, I'm going to read it again. Verse 30. Oh, let me go back to 29. No, just go back to 28. Brahma said, Woe is me if my soul turneth toward woman. Was I not wed to thee, O Ormaz? Was I not thy bridegroom from my youth up? Why then protectest not thou me unto thyself? Ormaz said, In times past I raised up many in Oahspe, and they were without flesh desires all their days. Such men could not perpetuate the earth. They were good for their day. Zarathustra was an Oahspe. My light is now for them that can perpetuate. All things are possible in my hands. Grieve not, nor smother out any talent I created unto the pure in flesh. Y'all know what that means. Bro, I'm about to have pie for dessert. Look. Such men could not perpetuate the earth. They were good for their day. Zarathustra was an Oahspe. My light is now for them that can perpetuate. All things are possible in my hands. Grieve not, nor smother out any talent I created unto the pure in flesh. Brahma said, If I have a woman, O Ormaz, may I not lose my love for thee? Brahma said, If I have a woman, O Ormaz, may I not lose my love for thee? Yes, a question. May I not lose my love for thee? Ormaz said, By faith in me thou shalt triumph by the road I marked out for thee, since before thou wert born. Okay, so at the beginning of verse 31, it says, If I have a woman, O Ormaz. After have, it has reference number 13, and 13 at the bottom says love. So let me read that again. Brahma said, If I have or love a woman, O Ormaz, may I not lose my love for thee? Ormaz said, By faith in me thou shalt triumph by the road I marked out for thee, since before thou wert born. Arise then, O Brahma, and follow thy star. I will lead thee. Brahma said, Can there be another way than by celibacy? Can a married man serve Ormaz? So Brahma traveled and came into the country of Ikshoyasan, where lay the mountains of Talavicha under King Tayama, who had enforced the Zarathustrian religion with sword and spear and with chains and death, being himself sole interpreter. When Brahma came to Al-Wacha, he halted it to inquire the way to the high priest's house, that he might be absolved for 20 days in Tayama's kingdom according to law, paying the price as a portion for strangers. In answer to his summons, there came to the gate a damsel, Utiv, fairest of women, draped also to go before the priest for confession. Brahma inquired of her concerning the priest and the tax. Utiv informed him, and moreover said, I am going thither, and shall delight to lead thee to the place. So Brahma went with Utiv, and when they were gone a little way, she said unto him, Whence comest thou, and what is thy mission? Peradventure I may serve thee. Behold, I see a star above thy head. Brahma said, Seest thou a star? Now I say unto thee, there is an old legend that the pure in heart, looking upward, oft see their own parada, soul or bird, and think it belongeth to another. Utiv reassured Brahma she saw the star, whereupon Brahma took heart and said, Yea, I have a star, and the voice of Ormas cometh to me at times. For some years I strove to be a priest, for I saw the wickedness of the world, and moreover the tyranny and tortures of the church. And after church, in parentheses, it has ha-oke, H-A-apostrophe-O-K-E. Moreover, the tyranny and the tortures of the church, Heyoki, and my soul cried out for the oppressed who had faith in the Great Spirit more than in the priest. And Ormaz came to me and said, Brahma, my son, forsake thy studies and take thy broad axe and go and hew logs. Behold, I will come to thee sometime, and thou shalt bless the earth. So I gave up my studies and became a hewer of wood, living abstemiously day and night, and praying and striving with all my soul and with all my strength to purge myself of all earthly thoughts. So I grew, as thou beheldest, to be a large man of great strength. But alas, evil overtook me, my soul desired a woman. And I cried out unto Ormaz, saying, Why hast thou put this matter upon thy son? Lo, I strove to be wedded to thee only. I shut my eyes to all the earth, but thou hast suffered me to fall. Rescue thou me, I pray. Then spake Ormaz to me, saying, Behold, I have revealed my word through such as have no earth desires, but that time is past. I will now prove unto the nations of the earth that I have power in directing the flesh, that heirs may be born unto me. Arise, therefore, and go whither I will lead thee, for thou shalt take a wife and raise up 7 sons, and I will deliver my edifice, church, unto liberty. So I rose up and walked after the light of my star. Thus far have I come, but how much further I must go, I know not. But I will go to the end of the earth if Ormaz require it of me. Uta said, I pity thee, O man. One so holy should never with woman wed. To win such a man's love, the best of women would forget her God. Ooh, girl, listen. She said to win thy love. Like, who creates men like this today? Yo, I need you in my life. Listen, she said, Yusuf said, I pity thee, O man. One so holy should never with woman wed. To win such a man's love, the best of women would forget her God. To bear thee one child instead of 7, a woman would cleave the earth in twain. It would be like peopling the world with gods and goddesses. What you just say, girl? Yo, what Yusuf just say? I didn't realize this light was out. Hold on. She said, yo, women would tear the earth in 2 just to give you one child, because it would be like people in the earth with gods and goddesses having a seed from you. Hey, listen, I stay right over here. Look, I'm cooking done in a little bit. Look, let me read this again. Verse 40. Let me just go back to 39, because it all flows together so good. Verse 39. Then spake Ormaz to me, saying, Behold, I have revealed my word through such as have no earth desires, but that time is past. I will now prove unto the nations of the earth that I have power in directing the flesh, that heirs may be born unto me. Arise, therefore, and go whither I will lead thee, for thou shalt take a wife and raise up 7 sons, and I will deliver my edifice, church, unto liberty. So I rose up and walked after the light of my star. Thus far have I come, but how much further I must go, I know not. But I will go to the end of the earth if Ormaz require it of me. Utif said, I pity thee, O man. One so holy should never with woman wed. To win such a man's love, the best of women would forget her God. To bear thee 1 child instead of 7, a woman would cleave the earth in twain. It would be like peopling the world with gods and goddesses. O promise me, stranger, thou wilt turn from such unholy desires. I know not what moveth me past all modesty to thus speak to thee, but before Ormaz, creator of heaven and earth, erst thou camest to my father's gate, a voice spake in mine ear, saying, quickly thou put on thy robes for confession and hasten to the priest. Oh, y'all setting it up like, sis. I'm gonna play shy boy for you. Look, go ahead, put on your robe, sis. Go see the priest. What? Just go see the priest. Look, instead of saying, look, because it's a man coming. He coming right at the time you about to leave out the gate, and you go and you need to walk with him, right? Just go see the priest. I'll tell you what to say to him when you get there. Just put on your confession robes. Go see the priest, like right now. Go. Listen. Utif said, let me just read it again. Utif said, I pity thee, O man. One so holy should never with woman wed. To win such a man's love, the best of women would forget her God. To bear thee 1 child instead of 7, a woman would cleave the earth in twain. It would be like peopling the world with gods and goddesses. O promise me, stranger, thou wilt turn from such unholy desires. I know not what moveth me past all modesty to thus speak to thee, but before Ormaz, creator of heaven and earth, erst thou came to my father's gate. A voice spake in mine ear, saying, quickly thou put on thy robes for confession and hasten to the priest. I tell thee, O man, to save thee, the angels of Ormaz came to me. It is true that 2 can see more than 1. Brahma said, who art thou, O woman? Utif said, a weaver of mats, no more. My father liveth in yonder thatch. My mother's soul ascended to heaven, giving me birth. She was of the Ehims. From place to place my father and I have been driven, and the ills of the earth are written on my soul, and the rudeness of men and the light-heartedness of women. By day and by night my soul crieth out for the miseries of the earth. O the sins of the earth, O the death of little infants, O the trials of the poor, O the sufferings of the sick, O the anguish of the imprisoned. O stranger, 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 people not this world more. People not this world more. Let us turn our souls upward to nirvana, to the regions of endless paradise, to the voices of angels and gods, to wisdom that erreth not, to music never discordant, to love that never separateth, never. Brahma said, now I beseech thee, O Ormaz, that I may never marry. Look, I've been sheltered away. What you say going on out here, girl? And he just made him go in deeper. Look, may I never marry. Brahma said, now I beseech thee, O Ormaz, that I may never marry. But because thou hast raised up here so fair a woman, and withal so wise, give me leave that I may dwell near at hand. Then spake Ormaz out of the midst of the voices of their stars, saying, hold up thy hand, O man, hold up thy hand, O woman. And they held up their hands, and Ormaz said, I am the Father, and ye are my children, that I may have joy, dwell ye near together. Now after this, Brahma and she proceeded to the priest's house and made their sacrifices, and returned and came to Utif's father's house. And the father's name was Eligianus, called Ali. And Yutif told her father all that happened, but Brahma said little. Ali said, "What the All-Light doeth is well done. My house is ample. Brahma shall sojourn as long as he desireth." Brahma said, "Of my own accord, I am not master of many words. When it pleaseth Ormazd to speak with me, I will raise my voice." Then Yutif spread mats and provided food and set it before Brahma, and he ate. And after that, they said their prayers according to the laws of the king, and then retired to sleep. Next chapter. Where you at? 808? No. Yeah. 49 minutes. Okay. We'll read one more chapter. Chapter 15. Let me see how long 15 is. Ooh, maybe we'll read two more because it's real short. Okay. Chapter 15. When morning came, Brahma and Yutif rose early and came and spake together, enjoyed greeting, and they were moved to shake hands. Though such a proceeding was not according to the fashion of the country, save betwixt relatives. And it came to pass that they were much together during the day, and in the evening they walked together, but touched not one the other. Now on the second day, when they walked together, they held hands. And on the third day, they joined arms. And on the fourth day, they kissed each other. And after that, they were only separated at night when they slept. But it came to pass that they were so delighted with each other that they sat up nearly all night so as not to be separate. And all the while they neglected not their devotion to Ormazd, but finally they sat up all night, sleeping not, save in each other's arms. Ain't that so sweet? Yusuf said, "Since we sit up all night, it is wiser to sit on mats than on stools." Oh, girl, see, first we were sitting on the hard stools. Now you want to get comfy on the mats. We about to Netflix and chill. Look. Yusuf said, "Since we sit up all night, it is wiser to sit on mats than stools." Brahma said, "It is wiser." So they provided mats, half raised and half spread down for a season, and finally laid the mats full length, and they laid down together. Y'all getting closer and closer to this perpetuating. I had to go back and look at the word. They about to perpetuate, y'all. Look. So they provided mats, half raised and half spread down for a season, and finally laid the mats full length, and they laid down together. More than that, history saith not. We'll see what history say. But Brahma followed his trade in that country, and it came to pass that he had a son born to them. And there you go. We know what happened next, even though history doesn't say. But Brahma followed his trade in that country, and it came to pass they had a son born to them, and his name was Oahspe. And in the time another son, and his name was Vuz. And then Gideon and Vedi and Os and said, history is saying a lot. Now after they lived together as man and wife, the voice of Ormazd came not to Brahma, though the angel of Ormazd remained, and at times talked to both Brahma and Yutif, his wife. Now during all the time until after the birth of the sixth son, Yutif had faith in Ormazd and was a Faithist in her whole heart. But during all these years, she had only communion with the angels, and withal had suffered many hardships in common with Brahma. And their love abated not one jot or tittle, and Yutif believed in her husband and encouraged his aspirations. He had said to her 10,000 times, "I know Ormazd will come. Through me, he will never deliver the Faithists." I'm sorry. Let me read it again. Verse 7. And their love abated not one jot or tittle, and Yutif believed in her husband and encouraged his aspirations. He had said to her 10,000 times, "I know Ormazd will come. Through me will he deliver the Faithists out of bondage." And she believed in him, and believed these things would come to pass, and believed her sons would have the voice of the Creator with them also. But after the birth of the sixth child, Utiv lost faith in the Father. She said, all my life I have been in error. There is no all person. There is no voice, save the spirits of the dead, and they know little more of heaven than we. The Creator is dumb, like the wind. His voice is like the wind. It speaketh nothing. She start YouTube. What's going on with you, girl? You starting to sound like Job's wife. Great Spirit, Jehovah, peace and blessings. Did I say hey to Francis? Francis, shalom. I may have said it, but I don't know. Verse 9. And after that, she ceased to use the name Ormazd or father, but said Eolin, after the manner of the ancients. And Brahma ceased more to speak in the presence of Utiv of the coming Ormazd to himself. And he also adopted the name Eolin, signifying like the wind, void of shape or person. Whilst this state of unbelief was upon them, they had another child born unto them, and they called his name Hog, Hog, signifying fact or without inspiration, an animal that rooteth in the ground. Man, that sucks. All these 6 sons ahead of you. Imagine your state of mind and your state of spirituality that surrounded them while she was pregnant until the time they were born. And all of that flips and changes, and you have another child, your last son, in a state of unbelief. Man, his life gonna be hard. Look, I'm gonna read this again. Verse 10. Whilst this state of unbelief was upon them, they had another child born to them, and they called his name Hog, signifying fact, F-A-C-T, or without inspiration, an animal that rooteth in the ground. Utiv weaned Hog when he was 3 years old, and on the day following, the voice of God came to Brahma, saying, Brahma, Brahma. And Brahma said, Here I am, O Eolin. And the Father said, Be thou faithful another 18 years. I shall be with thee to the end. Brahma was so delighted. He ran home and told Utiv, but she rejoiced not. She made no answer. Silently, she looked upward for a long while, and then she said, 18 years? Hog will be 21. And that one I would be, that sounds like a woman. That's just 18 years. That sounds like something. It sounds like something we would say. That's how we would react. 18 years. This boy going to be 21. 18, 19, 20, 21. 18 years. Look, rolling the neck. All that, right? Look. Utiv weaned Hog when he was 3 years old, and on the day following, the voice of God came to Brahma, saying, Brahma, Brahma. And Brahma said, Here I am, O Eolin. And the Father said, Be thou faithful another 18 years, and I will be with thee to the end. Brahma was so delighted, he ran home and told Utiv, but she rejoiced not. She made no answer. Silently, she looked upward for a long while, and then she said, 18 years? Hog will be 21, and thou and I will be old. Chapter 16. Oh, yeah. 57 minutes? Okay, so after 16, we'll pause. For 18 years more, God spake not to Brahma, but Brahma remained faithful, and Utiv was full of hope. But when the time was fulfilled in Ormazd's own way, he came with renewed light, which was on the 21st birthday of Hog. Whilst Brahma and his family were seated on mats, eating breakfast at sunrise, lo, a light as of a sun came within the hut and passed over Brahma's head and then disappeared. And out of the void in the space above their heads came these words to wit, From this time forth, the 21st birthday shall be the time of maturity for man. Be ye watchful for the voice of Ormazd. He is ever present. Y'all know I got to highlight that, right? The time of maturity for man. Although it might seem, I don't know what's happening with the men today. They don't seem like they mature until 43. Yo, there is what show was that? What sitcom? Oh my gosh, it's the oh my gosh, the show with Kramer. What show is that? Oh my gosh, is it the guy's wife? But anyway, I just remember that. I'm gonna have to look it up. What if y'all know the name of that show? Yes, Seinfeld. Thank you, Jen. There was a I think it was Seinfeld. Boy, turn it back on. I think it was Seinfeld. I'm gonna have to look it up, and I'm gonna hold on. Let me write it down. Seinfeld. I think it was like his 40th birthday. They were actually talking about this. The wife said, it was super funny, and I hollered because when I saw it, my husband was just turning like 41. I was like, she ain't saying nothing but the truth. But anyway, she cracked the joke saying something. Men don't even mature till they reach their like 40, almost 40 until after 40. I'm gonna have to. It was something about the 40th birthday, but saying that they're completely lost today to after they turn 40. Then they begin to understand stuff and actually like mature to where it's like, okay, you got some sense about yourself. I gotta find it. I'm gonna share it with y'all. That's what it is. The Girl Got Game. Is that a name or something? Is that what you're saying, Anita? I'm lost. Look, but anyway, I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna share it with you, right? And all that came from this little verse right here. Let me read this again. Okay. Verse 2. Whilst Brahma and his family were seated on mats, eating breakfast at sunrise, lo, a light as of the sun came within the hut and passed over Brahma's head and then disappeared. And out of the void, in the space above their heads, came these words to wit: from this time forth, the 21st birthday shall be the time of maturity for man. Be ye watchful for the voice of Oahspe, he is ever present. And all of them saw the light and heard the words, save Hog. And Hog, having been begotten in unbelief, neither saw the light nor heard the voice. And when they all had exclaimed, behold the light, hear the voice, And when they all had exclaimed, behold the light, hear that voice, Hog thus spake before him. For many a year ye have prophesied this should come to pass when I should reach my 21st birthday. For the love ye all bear me, I know ye would not put a joke upon me, but I am seriously grieved that ye say, behold the light and hear the voice. For I say unto you, these things are not in reason and cannot be so, but in much hope and faith and belief, all of which ye have cultivated for years, ye suffer your imaginings to stand for realities. So everybody but Hog saw it. Hey, turn it down, Isaiah. Now whilst Hog thus spake, the light came again and stood over Brahma's head, whilst one might count 20. The voice said, blessed art thou, O Brahma, blessed thou, O Utiv. These things had to be fulfilled. I preach not by reason alone, but provide living examples. In his old age, Brahma had attained Oahspe. Oh, sweet. Hey, son. Isaiah, turn it down a little bit more. So we can see that even being married, he could attain Oahspe, right? That is really, really interesting. Okay. Oh, so it makes, okay, so I'm starting to get it now, why he said in 18 years. Because remember, earlier, before he had even got married, he had been being groomed to be an Oahspe, right? So he lived his whole life being celibate or a virgin until he got married. Then he got married, and then he's going through these other processes and having children and bearing them and stuff, right? And then just the cycles of life. This is making sense now. This is completely making sense. At least to me it is, right? And so he said in 18 years, because I guess that period of time he had to mature in those years, right? Still being faithful. Yo, this is good. Hold on. Okay. Verse 5. Now whilst Hog thus spake, The light came again and stood over Brahma's head, whilst one might count 20. And the voice said, Blessed art thou, O Brahma, blessed thou, O Utiv. These things had to be fulfilled. I preach not by reason alone, but provide living examples. In his old age, Brahma had attained Ayasu. Again, all of them saw and heard the manifestation of Ormazd, save Hog, and he saw not and heard not what came of the Spirit. Hog said, Have I not eyes good as the best? Show me a hair that I cannot see. Let fall a might that I cannot hear. Then Weish, the firstborn, answered him, saying, First, my brother, I greet thee with love, for thou art the fairest and best of all the great born sons of this God and Goddess, our father and mother, and I appeal to thee in thy great wisdom. How have we all imagined the same light at the same time and place? And greater yet, how have we imagined the same spoken words? Hall replied, How can my answers cope with one who hath wisdom like unto thee, O my brother? Thou hast confounded me, but yet I understand not wherein thou and ye and my most loving brothers can see and hear things that I cannot. Have we not all the same parts, so like unto one another that our neighbors scarce distinguish us? And above all, we are all the same fruit from a father and mother, the holiest and wisest of created beings. So he like tripping. He said, how come y'all can see and hear, but I can't? Bruh. It was the circumstances you was born in. Yo, this is amazing. I'm starting to think about a lot of different people that I know, especially in my family, and thinking about my children and the state of mind that my husband and myself were in when we had them is really, really interesting. This is really interesting, y'all. Okay. Have we not all the same parts, so like unto one another that our neighbors can scarce distinguish us? And above all, we are all the same fruit from a father and a mother, the holiest and wisest of created beings. How are we going to turn this up and go upstairs? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Verse 9. Now spake Util, saying, I am before thy judgment, O Ormazd. That which I have done, I have done. Deal thou with me for my great unbelief. I have sinned against heaven and earth. Even whilst thou quickenest into life within my womb, this star of everlasting light, lo, I put out his eyes and stopped his ears against thee. Oh my gosh. I'm about to cry. Listen. She realized what's been done, right? With her unbelief. Oh, yo. If we had the mindset and thought like this, listen. Let me just go back. Let me go back to when his brother started speaking to him. He's trying to figure out, how come everybody can see and hear this spiritually, but I can't? What is wrong with me? Am I not born of the same fruit? We all have the same father and mother. We all of us, so much so that we walk in the light that even our neighbors can scarcely distinguish us from one another. Why can't I hear? Listen, bruh, this is so good. This is starting to answer a lot of questions. Okay, verse 7. First, my brother, I greet thee with my love, for thou art the fairest and best of all the great born sons of this God and Goddess, our father and mother. And I appeal to thee in thy great wisdom. How have we all imagined the same light at the same time and place? And greater yet, how have we imagined the same spoken words? Hall replied, How can my answers cope with one who hath wisdom like unto thee, O my brother? Thou hast confounded me, but yet I understand not wherein thou and ye and my most loving brothers can see and hear things that I cannot. Have we not all the same parts, so like unto one another that even our neighbors scarce distinguish us? And above all, we are all the same fruit from a father and mother, the holiest and wisest of created beings. Now spake Util, saying, I am before thy judgment, O Ormazd. That which I have done, I have done. Deal thou with me for my great unbelief. I have sinned against heaven and earth. Even whilst thou quickenest into life within my womb, this star of everlasting light, lo, I put out his eyes and stopped up his ears against thee. The unbelief of my soul, the unbelief of my soul penetrated the walls of my womb and shaped the fruit of my holy husband into a man of darkness. O Ormaz, why was thy daughter born? Oh my gosh. Turn it down. I'm sorry, I had to highlight this, y'all. I'm going to read this again. Now spake Yusuf, saying, I am before thy judgment, O Ormaz. That which I have done. Deal thou with me for my great unbelief. I have sinned against heaven and earth, even whilst thou quickenest into life within my womb, this star of everlasting light. Lo, I put out his eyes and stopped up his ears against thee. The unbelief of my soul penetrated the walls of my womb and shaped the fruit of my holy husband into a man of darkness. O Ormaz, why was thy daughter born? Isaiah. I want to say, I know, I'm almost done. You need to turn it down. It's too loud. Ain't no furniture in there, so all the sound is just coming over here. Verse 10. Hog said, O thou goddess mother, weep not, but rejoice for the glory of my birth, that thou and my holy father, a very God amongst men, brought me into life. My soul is boundless in rejoicing. I declare unto thee, O mother, I am not in darkness, nor am I blind and deaf. If there would be another world, what mattereth it to me? The glories of this one are boundless. And if there be a great light and a voice, what are they to me? Thou hast so filled my every vein of blood with thy warm love, and with the sweet love of these my holy brothers, and with the wisdom of my Father, God of men, that I know nothing but to rejoice and to invent praises and thanks to you all with all my wisdom and strength. Oh, what a good son Hog is. Look. And now the light gathered within the soul of Brahma, and he was one with the Father, Ormaz the Creator. Then spake through Brahma, saying, I created the earth, not to be despised, as do the Zarathustrians through the hearts of monarchs. I created the earth, not to be despised, as do the Zarathustrians through the hearts of monarchs and priests, but that it should be the glory of man. This was the Zarathustrian law. But for sake of profit and bondage and evil, they have perverted my doctrines and bound up my peoples. They profess me, even Ormaz, but they have turned my commandments and my doctrines upside down. You know what? This is the first time I've read this, but I've said this for years. I said everything in this world is upside down, right? The more I began to study, I began to see things are all out of sorts. And y'all, I know y'all didn't hear me say that in my earlier videos a couple years ago. But this is the first time I've actually read this in anything. They profess me, even Ormaz, but they have turned my commandments and my doctrines upside down. I came through Zarathustra and delivered them that called on me in faith, and they became my chosen for a season, but they suffered evil to usurp their hearts. They squandered my substance in building temples and providing a superabundance of priests and priestesses. They raised up the sword and spear for me. By blood and death they established kingdoms, called them by my name, Ormaz. They raised up the sword and spear for me. By blood and death they established kingdoms and called them by my name, Ormaz. The spirit of my voice they put aside, but the words they retained. and added earthly meaning thereto, whereby they proclaim darkness for light and light for darkness. And the poor and distressed that worship me in truth and in spirit have learned to hate the words established. Wow. Yo. I can clearly, and I talk about Christianity a lot because I came out of that sect. But I can clearly see that, right? Let me read this. Verse 14 again. The spirit of my voice they put aside, but the words they retained and added earthly meaning thereto, whereby they proclaim darkness for light and light for darkness. And the poor and distressed that worship me in truth and in spirit have learned to hate the words established, for which reason they are persecuted and bound and taxed and despitefully used. Yea, they that would not kill because of their natural love to me and my created sons and daughters, they impress into service of war, taking them from their kindred, saying to them, come away from peace and kill. Be thou a slayer of men, be a soldier of death for the glory of the king. I commanded them in olden time to not kill at all. My words were plain. Now we can tell who's speaking in the Bible. It's upside down, inside out. Look. I got to highlight and underline it. My words were plain. Listen. I commanded them in the olden time to kill not at all. My words were plain. But the kings commanded the priests to interpret my words round about, whereby war might be justified. I commanded them against taking that which was another's. My words were plain. But the kings commanded the priests to interpret the meaning, so the kings could extract tribute for their own glory. And so they levy wheresoever and whensoever they will, saying, for the defense of the king and the country. For the king and country. Yo, that's so good. Verse 18. Thus they have perverted my commandments from beginning to the end. But I declare unto you that in my sight to kill one man, I will hold him accountable who doeth it, and 10 times accountable if he kill 10 men, and 100 times for 100. They shall not hide death and murder from my sight by the sight. They shall not hide death and murder from my sight by the word war. Killing is killing, right? You ain't gonna hide that from my sight by calling it war. I said don't do it at all. Neither shall they excuse stealing by levying a tax. Yo, this is stealing. Extracting taxes is stealing. Yo, listen to this. Neither shall they excuse stealing by levying tax for the king or the country's protection. This is what they're doing. They still doing this today. You clearly you can see this. We just finding this out. We've been brainwashed. This is okay. Yep, we'll do this to keep the country safe. You want smooth, pretty roads? We're gonna give you smooth, pretty roads. You give us a little bit of tax. Matter of fact, you ain't got to give it to us. We're gonna make your employer responsible. Pull the tax off of here. Send it to us. Give them what's left. Call it the net pay. But the gross, count the taxes off the gross. Give them what's left. Send it to us. And if you don't send it to us, we coming to you. How do we know that? Because we've been put in that place with the I, the R, and the S. And we realize that the king's men and women don't play. We will come take your stuff if you don't pay these taxes. Blessed be the most holy. We was able to get it in order because while we're still living under the king's rule, we still got to render unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar, right? So we had to chunk them big chunks of money. Not that we was trying to steal, but I wanted to make sure we was doing it right. So I hadn't, this was early on in the business. I was like, I think I'm doing something wrong. Because when our business we grew in like leaps and bounds in our early days. And because I was familiar with doing taxes, I was just handling all the books and everything till we started getting some of these huge contracts. And I realized I didn't know all that I thought I knew about taxes, especially not business taxes, right? So instead of paying it, while I was trying to figure it out to save a buck, I just kept it aside. I told y'all that story last year when the IRS actually sent agents to our house. And at this time, we was living in a little apartment It was like a strip of 18 brand new apartments that was right across the street from a trailer park. Listen, I know, boy. Let me tell you, we look, and it was called Christian Street. Anytime, like we told somebody, oh, y'all live in a trailer park. We do not live in a trailer park. We stay across the street from the trailer park. That's how people knew that, oh, y'all live in y'all. We don't. Y'all hear my oldest son Elijah.
There wasn't nothing Christian about that street.
Yo, listen. We moved in. It was brand new and everything. But everybody, just because they knew the area, I mean, we didn't know, right? I was just getting out the military, and it's like, oh, these cheap pay $550 for rent. Yes, they brand new. We went to look at it, but we didn't know about Christian Street before we had moved in, right? We figured Christian Street, this is a sign from God. Yes, we're supposed to be living here, but Chloe, have mercy. Thank you that we were kept safe the whole time we lived there. Them whole 5 years we lived there. But there wasn't nothing, like my son just said, there wasn't nothing Christian about them streets. But y'all kept us safe while we was there. But it was all kinds of craziness happening in that trailer park over there. Like when you drug traffic, prostitution, like all of this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, where do we go? Why do we stay here? Right? But anyway, but we found out when we were living there that the IRS don't play about their taxes, about their money. And the IRS is nothing but a accounting firm, the big world's accounting firm for the IMF, right? The International Monetary Fund, right? They extract the taxes. They make sure the employers is taken. Otherwise, they come put levies and they hit the employers. You don't want to pay it? Oh, we ain't going to get them. We going to get you. And we know we can extract it from you. You got more to lose than what they do. We're going to take everything. I was like, oh, no, wait. We didn't spend the money. It's over here in the bank. And we felt like because they saw we live across the street from the trailer park, they thought we was lying, right? I was like, nope. We got all the money in the bank. I said, I promise you. And it was two older black women that came with badges and stuff. Y'all got to go back some videos to hear that story and I give you the full details. But make a long story short, the day before, I had really had this strong impression. Now I know it was y'all. The moment I opened my eyes, go get a CPA today. Go retain a CPA today. Go retain a CPA today. I kid you. I said, babe, we got to retain a CPA today. I said, because this too much. I think I'm screwing stuff up, right? So we found a CPA. And we retained them, paid the little retainer, not knowing that the I, the R, and the S who was going to be knocking on our door bright and early the next morning, right? Boy, they had briefcases full of paperwork and all this stuff. I'm like, yo, listen, wait a minute. We know we owe this, but we was holding on to the money because we wanted to make sure we weren't miscalculating anything. And they looking at us like, yeah, okay. And so they stayed right. I said, no, I will pull up the bank right now. So I opened up Bank of America on the computer. I said, look in there. They said, oh. And I had it all separated. It was separate accounts. It wasn't all in one account because I had learned about the profit first theory of organizing the money in a business and having the separate accounts and stuff. So all that money for taxes was set over into an account. And so what we did, we wrote a check for $13,000 right there, right? And so, and I kid you not, I said, we have a CPA, and I gave them the card. They called and verified. When they called and verified, they began to show a little bit of respect to me and my husband. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Murphy, and began to talk to us like we actually knew what we was doing, just kind of trying to be extra precautious, right? So what happened, they got back to the office and they went through everything and they knocked off some penalties and stuff that they was hitting us with. And so they only, from that $13,000 check, they sent us $5,000 back because they said we went through here and we removed some penalties and interest and everything, and so we're only keeping $8,000 and sent us $5,000 back. I'm like, they ain't so bad after all. They really is human. They care about us a little bit. They saw that, we weren't trying to steal, thinking we drug dealers and stuff, living over here in this trailer park, but we didn't live in the trailer park. We live across the street from the trailer park. Okay, let me get back to this. We're almost done. All right. Listen. Let me go back up to 16. It's 25 verses. Okay. Verse 16. I commanded them in the olden time to kill not at all. My words were plain, but the kings commanded the priests to interpret my words round about, whereby war might be justified. I commanded them against taking that which was another's. My words were plain, but the kings commanded the priests to interpret the meaning so that the kings could extract tribute for their own glory. And so they levy wheresoever and whensoever they will, saying, for the defense of the king and the country. Thus have they perverted my commandments from beginning to end. But I declare unto you that in my sight, to kill one man, I will hold him accountable who doeth it, and 10 times accountable if he kill 10 men, and 100 times for 100. They shall not hide death and murder from my sight by the word war. Neither shall they excuse stealing by levying tax for the king or the country's protection. For by their own evil hath it come to pass that they talk about protection. Have I made a law that one king or one country shall protect itself against another? See, it's not any man that these doctrines come of the flesh and not of the spirit. Isaiah, it keeps going up. Turn it down. I'm going to turn it off. Last time. They profess to be Faithists in me, but straightway they go and build fortifications of earth and stone and wood. And they that know me in spirit and truth, perceiving I am wrongly interpreted for evil's sake, being such as rebel in their souls against these iniquities, they seize and oppress for their lifetime as slaves, or if refusing, they kill them. And they that work such wickedness say, behold, we have the Zarathustrian law, the Oahspe law, the Ormazdian law. Ours is the holy, the revealed word. Let no man raise up his voice against these truths, or he shall surely be put to death. But I looked down from my holy heavens and saw, and my ears heard, and I cried out in my soul for the evils of the earth. I said, behold, I will go and deliver them that have faith in me in spirit and truth. And I went over the lands of the earth, but I found no man in whom my light could shine. And I called my holy masters of generations, who they called? The Lewis, right? And I went over the lands of the earth, but I found no man in whom my light could shine. And I called my holy masters of generations, my angels high raised in heaven, and I said unto them, come ye and dwell on earth many generations, and by inspiration raise ye up one in whom my light shall shine, for I will surely deliver my people. Now I declare unto you who are assembled, the time is at hand, and ye are all so many parts in my work, even through my angels. Name ye these sons according to their names, so will I establish my kingdom. Suffer therefore Vedi to write down the words I have spoken, for lo, he hath learning and memory provided to that end. Be ye watchful when I come again. Jehovah Ormazd ceased, and Brahma woke as from a trance, though he had heard all that was said. So Vedi remembered the words spoken, every one, and he wrote them down on cloth prepared for that purpose. And this was the beginning of a new name of a people on earth, for they were Faithists in fact, and nothing but Faithists. But they were called by their neighbors sometimes Vedans and sometimes Brahmins. And that, my beautiful people, is where we would end at today. This is so good. I really want to keep going, but for time's sake, it is Monday morning, and people got to get out of here. And I got contractors showing up here in like 20 minutes. So you got to go. Let me put this down. Hold on, Pooh. Hold on. Yeah, we'll make it. All right, y'all. So that is it. It is Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out to the end of this chapter. It is July the 11th, 2022, day 156 of year 4, reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets. And of the 4-year consecutive day count, it is day 1174. We read the first book of God, which is found in Oahspe, from pages 189 to 299. I'm going to remember this year that Seinfeld snippet. Hopefully they got it in a snippet, and I ain't got to put the whole 30-minute show up there. So I'm gonna find that, and I'll put that up there shortly for y'all to see. But with that being said, thanks, Jen. You have a great day too. I love y'all, and may the great spirit Ormaz, the master light, continue to flood your life with life and light in spirit and in truth. I love y'all. See y'all back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.